Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. My friends, I think we all recognize that sound, don't we? That is the sound of new set photos from Superman. But if you're anything like me and you've been constantly scouring the internet every single day for any sort of set photos, scoop, leak, anything regarding Superman from James Gunn, the first official film of the DCU, well, you're probably pretty happy because we finally have a really solid look at the suit. We got our first official look posted to Instagram not too long ago. I think it was David Corenswet that posted it, but I think James Gunn also posted it. I forget. But this photo was, for whatever reason, really controversial. I think just because the tone of it was a little bit darker. And so people are looking at it and they're like, this is kind of a dark suit. It kind of looks like the Man of Steel suit. Why did they recast Henry Cavill? Yeah, that about sums it up. But now that we're seeing this suit in broad daylight, you know, these are set photos. These are downtown Cleveland. That's where James Gunn is filming. The whole crew is there, all of the actors. And so they actually got these set photos in broad daylight, and that suit looks phenomenal. It actually has a lot of color. Who knows what sort of saturation, who knows what sort of visual style James Gunn is going to add to this. We're going to have to wait until we see the trailer, but when just looking at it in these photos, this suit looks a lot better than the one that we saw in that photo. Personally, I didn't mind it, but I did agree with some people just kind of saying, wow, this suit's a little bit gritty in tone. Like, this feels like a darker kind of DCU project. And when James Gunn first announced the DCU, it seemed to me that this was just going to be a completely new take on the DC universe, and I got this sense that this Superman was going to have a very nice sense of optimism about it, bringing back that core feeling that you get from Superman. Even that theme that I was just like humming along at the very beginning, just that feeling that this character gives you, what Clark Kent and Superman gives you, that feeling that everything's going to be okay because Superman is here. And I'm sorry to get cheesy, but as we get closer and closer to this movie, I'm getting really freaking excited. After we've seen some of the stuff about Creature Commandos get released here in the past few weeks, I'm just getting stoked about the DCU in general. But these set photos are freaking fire. We also have a nice shot of Mr. Terrific standing next to David Corenswet's Superman. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't have to look up this actor's name every single time. We got Eddie Gathegi, and you can see here in the photos that this costume is extremely comic accurate. He's got the Fair Play jacket with the Terrific on the back. If you look at his face, he has like the Mr. Terrific. It's fantastic. And I'm sure that a lot more photos are going to post by the time that I drop this video, but we did see Nicholas Hoult on set as well. I wonder if we're going to see some Lex Luthor shots. If we do end up getting those right after I post this video or something like that, I'll be sure to post them in my community tab, so keep an eye out for that. But I guess the reason why I wanted to make this video today is just to gauge my community here on YouTube, just to kind of get a sense of how you're feeling about the DCU. I'm really excited, again, about this take on Superman, but what do you think about David Corenswet's Superman? What do you think about what you've seen so far from the suit? I'm loving how this suit has trunks. I'm loving how this suit has a red cape with the yellow S on the back. Everything that I've seen from the downtown photos, like the Daily Planet with this golden globe, just the aesthetic of what James Gunn seems to be creating looks perfect. And somebody on X, honestly, I can't remember who it was and I can't seem to find it now, but they said, I hope that they do this version of Batman. Like, this is going to be the version of Batman in the DCU, or the costume rather. And a lot of people have been talking on Reddit and on Twitter, like, just about the fact that it stinks that Robert Pattinson's Batman isn't going to be teaming up with David Corenswet's Superman. Like, those two together feel like they go hand in hand, but I actually disagree a bit. Obviously, Matt Reeves has had a lot of thought about that, and he's the one who ultimately decided that he didn't want them together. He didn't want them existing in the same universe. And I think that's the right move, because people might want that now just because the Batman is so freaking good. But I think what we're going to find out after watching the Superman movie is that the DCU is going to have a very specific tone and vibe to it. And my theory is that it's going to be very comic accurate. You're going to feel like you're literally watching the comic books, because one of the complaints that a lot of people had through the DCEU is like, why don't you just adapt some of this stuff straight to the movies? Then we would absolutely love it. And I think that's what James Gunn is going to ultimately do. He's taking inspiration from some of the older comics. He's taking inspiration from Golden Age stuff. He's taking inspiration from New 52, but he's adapting it straight to the screen, and he's taking all of these pieces that we love so much about the character and putting it up there. It's not going to be like a Zack Snyder situation, and I don't know if you know my thoughts on Zack Snyder, and I don't need to get into all of that. I actually really love Man of Steel, but when it comes to an adaptation of that movie compared to the sense that you get of the character in the comics, I can understand how somebody might be a little bit disappointed, because it's just, it doesn't feel the same. And then you have him killing Zod in the end, and that's a huge piece of controversy for fans out there. But I think James Gunn is making an attempt to keep things as closely rooted to the comics, to the source material as possible, in order to win over fans. And coming back around to Batman, I really think that they're going to do a very comic accurate Batman. And sure, there's a ton of stuff that you can pull from with Batman, but a Mr. Freeze that we get in the Batman universe, in the Reeves verse, as they call it, is going to be a lot different than a Mr. Freeze that we get in the DCU. I feel like a Mr. Freeze in the DCU, and you can call me out on this if you want, but might be a little bit closer to Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze than something else. I think it's going to be very fantastical. I think they're going to lean into a lot of really cool stuff. They're going to bring in Poison Ivy. They're going to bring in Nightwing, and just all of these things that we haven't gotten so far from the live action adaptations. And I think very much the Batman in the Reeves verse is going to draw on some fantastical elements, but it is a very grounded movie. We saw that in the first one, and we have this Penguin series coming out that looks like the Sopranos of Gotham. I think that James Gunn is the man for the job to be in charge of all this, and I'm excited to see how it coexists. The Reeves verse isn't going to go on forever, but I think 10 years from now, we're going to be talking about a fantastic trilogy that came out from Matt Reeves, and we're also going to be stoked about the next DCU project that comes out. Very excited to see what actor they might choose for Batman, but there's a lot more to talk about, and we definitely will over the next year or so, but these pictures started a conversation that I'm very eager to continue, because these set photos, man, that suit just looks awesome. Like, I can't wait till we see Lois Lane and what Rachel Brosnahan looks like in this role, how they approach that character, then just everybody at the Daily Planet. Like, it's amazing. The Authority is going to be showing up. We're going to be getting this Lanterns TV show, and are they going to connect some of that into this movie? I don't know, but I'm super stoked. Please let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments. Just wanted to make a quick video for you guys today. And again, I read every single thing that you put down there, so please leave all your thoughts down there. Also, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you subscribe if you're new here. You can follow me on X at Jones Vibes Only, and don't forget to keep up the good vibes. But should I do? Yeah, I'll just do it again.